Okay, so first we are here. This is the landing page for the platform. I can see I've got an application here. Um, what I'm going to do is just walk you through the process of creating a new application and enabling the map, and just briefly introduce you to some of the most basic features of accessing the map and navigating through the map. Okay. Add application is the first step. Now you may or may not have permissions to add application. If you don't have permissions to add application, contact your administrator. But if you do have permissions, you'll be able to see this button here, accessible through the applications menu here on the left hand side of the platform. So I'm going to add a sample application. I'm just going to call it map demo of the map for the manual. Give it a vanity URL. Just call it map demo. So that's my application is going to be accessible through. And this is key. Enabling geolocation. So by default it is enabled. A lot of the verticals and use cases that we cater to in IoT, mapping makes a lot of sense, right? You've got assets that are moving around the map. This is geographical mapping now I'm talking about. So you can see the maps move, see the assets move around in the map, or you want to plot them at the very least. Sometimes you will have use cases where a geographical map does not make sense, like certainly, for example, an indoor environment. So you may just want to disable the map in those cases by off checking that. But typically, we enable it. Okay, click create. Now, here's my map demo application, and I'm just going to launch that. So if you click view app, it should open up this map demo application in a new tab. Now I have not configured anything on it apart from the map. So what you see here is the home page is pretty much blank, but we'll show you in another section of the manual how to add widgets. But really for this one I'm just focusing on the map. So when you enable geolocation, you do get this icon up here, and this is basically our default out of the box map that comes with the platform. So to access it, simply select it. It might take a minute to load, just it goes to fetch the tiles the first time, but you'll be brought back to the map when it eventually loads the tiles. Okay, so this is it. Maybe I'll just show you how to get out of the map again, because I accessed it through there, and if you notice on the left hand side the menu is gone, but you can show the menu. We call this the hamburger. Click that and you can actually access your menu again. Now I don't have much of a menu here, I just have a home page, but clicking the home page brings me back out of the map to the main page, which is blank at the moment, as we said. So I'll just go back into the map again. And it loads up. Okay, some very basic navigation around the map. So first of all, obviously you can click and hold down and drag around the map to reposition it. The base map, this selector here, allows you to change the tiles. So sometimes, for example, satellite imagery gives you a lot of is useful because it can give you extra context, whereas the street map can give you the street name. The satellite, you can see where a vehicle is. Maybe it's in where it's parked, or where your asset is. There's a couple of other maps as well: topographic map and oceans. So if they were useful, maybe for maritime use cases and things like that, you might go with oceans. But typically the most common ones we use are street or satellite. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it at street. Zooming, you can zoom with your wheel. If you have a wheel on your mouse, you can zoom with that, just as roll in or roll out. You also have these controls here on the map, so I can go minus to go out, plus to go in. The home brings me back to the home, the default view of the map, which is zooming me right out. Okay. You can see as well when you zoom in, I'll talk about clusters in a moment, but you see there's 106 assets in this location, and as you zoom in, the cluster starts to break out. Okay, so the idea here is that if you've got hundreds or thousands of assets on your map, you don't want to be overlaying icons all on top of each other. Rather, what we do is we automatically cluster them for you to give us summary information on it, which shows you the number of assets in the center, and then we also show the number with an info message, a warning message, or a critical message. So you can get at a glance, you can see if any of them are in an alert state. And then, as I said, zooming in, eventually they all break out. Sometimes you have to go right in on it. And then also, if you get all the way in and they're still on top of each other, you can click on them to break them out. Okay, that's the very basic overview of navigation through the map. I'll go through some of the other features of the map in follow-on videos to this.